In the 1970s, Ali MacGraw was not just an actress. She was the embodiment of purity, intelligence, and the freedom of the American woman. After the tremendous success of the classic film Love Story, Ali's face appeared on every magazine cover, becoming the very standard of innocence that all of Hollywood admired. Yet behind that dazzling glamour and radiant smile was a harsh reality the public never knew. Ali fell into a deadly orbit when she met and married Steve McQueen, the man famously known as the King of Cool. Behind McQueen's rugged masculinity and charm was extreme control, obsessive jealousy, and a marriage Ali later described as filled with silent horrors. Only at the age of 85 did she finally find the courage to peel back the layers of the past and tell the story of a woman trapped within the very fame that once defined her. To understand why an intelligent woman like Ali accepted such sacrifices, we must look back at the psychological scars of her childhood. The instability in Ali MacGraw's life did not begin in Hollywood. It started in her own home in New York. Growing up in a family filled with conflict, Ali watched her father struggle painfully with alcoholism. His unpredictability and violent outbursts created a deep void inside young Ali, leaving her constantly insecure and desperate for approval. This emotional foundation made her vulnerable and inclined to submit to strong, dominant men later in life. However, fate opened another path for her through her extraordinary beauty. Ali began her career not in acting school, but in the fashion world. She was fortunate enough to work under legendary editor Diana Vreeland at Harper's Bazaar, and later alongside the gifted photographer Melvin Sokolsky. Modeling not only gave her financial independence, but also became the bridge that led her into film. In 1969, her role in Goodbye, Columbus quickly drew the attention of critics and industry insiders. Ali was more than just a fresh face. She brought a modern, intelligent, and vibrant energy to the screen. This early success became the perfect stepping stone toward the peak of fame, and toward a marriage that seemed like a dream with one of Hollywood's most powerful men. In 1970, Ali MacGraw officially became a global cultural phenomenon with the film Love Story. The heartbreaking romance, along with the iconic line, "Love means never having to say you're sorry," generated more than $100 million at the box office, an unimaginable number at the time. Ali not only earned an Oscar nomination, but also became the actress every Hollywood producer desperately wanted. At the height of her career, her personal life also appeared enviable to the public. Ali married Robert Evans, the powerful Paramount producer behind masterpieces like The Godfather. In 1971, they welcomed their son Joshua into a luxurious Beverly Hills mansion. With her husband's power and her own fame, they were considered Hollywood royalty. However, that picture-perfect marriage soon began to crack as Robert Evans became consumed by work, leaving Ali isolated within the walls of their glamorous home. Then, a new film project arrived, bringing with it a man who would change her life in the most devastating way imaginable. In 1972, when Ali agreed to star in the action film The Getaway, she had no idea she was stepping into a danger zone that would burn her peaceful life to the ground. From their very first meetings, Ali felt an unsettling instinct about Steve McQueen. She sensed a powerful magnetic force radiating from him, intensely masculine, yet strangely threatening. When filming moved to Texas, the loneliness within her marriage to Robert Evans caused Ali to completely surrender to Steve's overwhelming attraction. On the scorching film set, amid dramatic escape scenes, the line between fiction and reality slowly blurred. Steve McQueen did not need poetic words to seduce her. He conquered her with raw intensity, piercing blue eyes that seemed to carry both pain and rebellion. Ali admitted she was drawn into his world like a moth hypnotized by flame, despite still being married to one of the most powerful men in Hollywood. This affair was not merely a secret romance on a movie set. It was a shocking betrayal. Ali decided to abandon everything: her status as the wife of a Hollywood mogul, her financial security, and her image as the good girl, to follow Steve. By the end of 1972, she filed for divorce from Evans, stunning the public. Yet Ali had no idea that the moment she chose Steve McQueen was also the moment she signed away her own freedom. The sacrifice did not stop with love. It became a devastating price, involving both her career and her self-respect. a price Steve demanded she pay. When Ali MacGraw left Robert Evans for Steve McQueen, she naively believed she was entering a passionate romantic adventure. But in reality, Steve welcomed her with a coldly practical attitude. Before the wedding, he demanded that she sign a harsh prenuptial agreement. If the marriage ended, Ali would receive nothing from his fortune. Blinded by love, she signed it without hesitation. But the most painful sacrifice was not financial. It was the loss of her identity. At the very height of her fame, when the world was at her feet, Steve delivered an ultimatum rooted in possession and control. He did not want a wife who worked. He wanted Ali to abandon acting completely and stay home waiting for him, cooking and cleaning. Ali's fear of losing the man she worshipped was so great that she agreed to throw away her extraordinary career. From an A-list star and symbol of female freedom, she suddenly became a quiet housewife hidden behind the gates of their Malibu home. This was not simply a career decision, it was a spiritual self-destruction. Ali later admitted that at the time, she believed that if she refused, Steve would stop loving her. She chose to feed her husband's enormous ego instead of protecting her own dreams. Under the blazing Malibu sun, Ali MacGraw and Steve McQueen appeared to the public as the most beautiful couple in the world, rebellious, free, and glamorous. But behind the doors of that seaside house, Ali's life became a long chain of pressure and fear. Steve McQueen, the man the world worshipped as the king of cool, was in reality a deeply broken soul carrying severe emotional scars from an abandoned childhood, and he poured all of that insecurity onto his wife. Steve's possessiveness was suffocatingly extreme. He was wildly jealous of anyone or anything that might draw Ali's attention away from him. If she merely glanced at another man or even seemed momentarily distracted from his control, a storm would erupt. Ironically, while demanding absolute purity and blind loyalty from Ali, Steve openly cheated with countless other women. He viewed it as his right, a way to prove his dominance as the alpha male. Ali found herself completely isolated. Once an intelligent and vibrant woman, she was transformed into a full-time housewife, trapped in a cycle of cooking, cleaning, and catering to her husband's enormous ego. She learned to walk on eggshells every single day, constantly studying Steve's moods to adjust her own behavior. The loneliness and loss of identity slowly pushed her down another dark path in search of comfort. The golden cage in Malibu did not bring the peace she imagined. Instead, it marked the beginning of a spiral of self-destruction. As the control became unbearable and the cracks in the marriage impossible to repair, the Malibu home stopped feeling like a sanctuary and became a place haunted by emotional ghosts. Steve McQueen sank deeper into alcohol and drugs as a way to escape his own inner demons. Surrounded by an atmosphere thick with tension and isolation, Ali MacGraw, once the embodiment of radiant vitality, also began turning to alcohol. Drinking became the only companion that allowed her to briefly forget the feeling of being trapped and the painful betrayal of a husband who demanded complete fidelity from her while indulging freely himself. Her trust completely collapsed as rumors of Steve's affairs spread everywhere, crushing Ali's self-worth to its core. In a desperate attempt to reclaim some sense of value and emotional connection, Ali also sought comfort outside the marriage, turning their relationship into a battlefield of resentment and deception. The final breaking point came in 1977. When Ali finally admitted she could no longer endure living like a ghost in the kitchen and expressed her desire to return to acting in order to rediscover herself, Steve McQueen responded with chilling cruelty. Without negotiation or compassion, he immediately demanded a divorce. Bound by the harsh prenuptial agreement she had signed years earlier, Ali walked away with nothing, carrying only a shattered heart and a career that had been frozen for years. But the tragedy did not end there, because fate still had an even more painful ending waiting for them. The divorce in 1977 legally gave Ali her freedom back, but emotionally, she remained chained to memories that were both passionate and deeply painful. Just 3 years later, shocking news struck Hollywood like a thunderbolt. Steve McQueen had been diagnosed with terminal mesothelioma. The once untouchable king of the screen was now frail and struggling for every breath while desperately seeking treatment in Mexico. Even though their marriage had often felt like an iron cage, standing at the edge of death beside the man she once loved so completely, filled Ali with heartbreaking sorrow. Steve's death in 1980 at the age of 50 left behind an emptiness inside her that nothing could replace. It was not only grief over losing him, but also deep regret for a love that could have been passionate and peaceful if both of them had not been consumed by emotional trauma and stubborn pride. Steve's death became the spark that burned away the last fragments of Ali's stability. She entered the darkest chapter of her life. Her acting career, the very thing she had sacrificed to please her husband, had grown cold. The roles she received afterward felt lifeless and forgettable, unable to pull her out of the swamp of loneliness. During those years, Ali MacGraw chose to escape reality through alcohol. Her drinking was no longer temporary relief. It had become a new prison, perhaps even more terrifying than Steve's control had once been. She buried herself in drunkenness, allowing the fame and beauty that once captivated the world to slowly fade away with time. It took years and many painful breakdowns before she finally realized she was destroying herself beneath the enormous shadow of the past. After more than a decade lost in the haze of alcohol and unnamed pain, Ali MacGraw realized that if she did not save herself, she would disappear like a ghost from another era. In the early 1990s, during a rare and courageous moment of clarity, she made a life-changing decision. She entered the Betty Ford Center. This was not merely a battle against alcoholism. It was a journey to confront the emotional wounds that had scarred her from childhood through the years she spent trapped under Steve McQueen's control. For the first time in her life, Ali learned how to face the truth without the mask of a movie star or the protection of a powerful man. She began rewriting her life through her memoir, Moving Pictures, 1991. The book was not a glamorous Hollywood memoir, but rather a painful confession, a cry for freedom after years of being imprisoned by fame and control. In 1994, Ali made another definitive choice. She left Los Angeles behind, the city that held too many memories of fake glamour and very real pain. She moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico. In the peaceful desert landscape beneath endless skies, Ali was truly reborn. Instead of the flashing lights of paparazzi cameras, she found joy in the quiet rhythm of yoga, meditation, and tending her own garden. Santa Fe gave her something Steve McQueen and Robert Evans never could: peace within her own soul. After spending so much of her life trying to please others, Ali finally learned how to live for herself, surrounded by nature and absolute freedom. The journey back from the abyss was not easy, but it shaped the Ali MacGraw of today, sober, strong, and filled with compassion. At 85, Ali MacGraw no longer possesses the fragile beauty of the dream girl she once was. Instead, she radiates a graceful wisdom with naturally silver hair and eyes glowing with intelligence. She has now lived more than 30 years completely sober, an achievement she treasures more than any film award she ever received. When reflecting on her terrifying marriage to Steve McQueen, Ali no longer speaks as a victim or with bitterness. She views the past with deep compassion. She admits that although there were moments of suffocating control, there were also unforgettable moments of passionate love. To her, Steve was a deeply wounded soul, and the two of them met at a time when neither was emotionally healthy enough to heal the other. Today, in Santa Fe, her life no longer revolves around blockbuster films or glamorous parties. Ali dedicates herself to sustainable fashion design and works with the organization EBU to support women artisans around the world. She has found strength in helping others and in the freedom of no longer trying to become anyone except herself. Ali MacGraw's story is a powerful anthem of resilience. She proved that no matter how badly you have been damaged by toxic relationships or trapped by addiction, there is always a chance to shatter the cage and fly back toward the light. At 85, Ali MacGraw no longer lives in Steve McQueen's shadow. She has become the light of her own life.